Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Perfect World based on novel. So let's start. Fire Cloud Cavern, Phantom Drake Dowgate, Shahao clenched his teeth, feeling great fury inside. For the sake of covering up the truth, they treated the descendants of the desolate borders heroes like this? This was completely internal strife, harming the strength of the higher realms as a whole. Just what kind of goal did they have? Did they not fear that when the world is engulfed in flames, not even they could protect themselves? Everything they did wasn't good for the higher realms, swaying its foundations. The situation is extremely complex. I've heard the old man mutter a few times that this involves the undying emperor, and even immortal, many sides in opposition. Cao Yusheng said. The so-called old man he was talking about was his mysterious master. Can you speak about it in more detail? Shahao asked. He truly wished to know more about the inner details. The little fatty shook his head. He only heard his teacher mutter a few sentences while drunk. That old man wouldn't speak no matter how he asked, so he didn't know what those words truly meant. In conclusion, things are extremely complicated. When the time comes, the desolate border will truly be broken through, and the consequences won't just be something our world will have to worry about. It will spread far out, the effects unimaginable. It was precisely because of this that they couldn't see exactly what was going on. Everything was shrouded in mists. Because of various reasons, there will be killing between similar races. It is because the creatures standing behind them that they relied on were different, belonging to different camps. Why do I feel like I have a headache? So complicated. The little rabbit was confused, rubbing her temples. In the future, only the most powerful can protect a place, intimidate a region. Everything will be enveloped in the flames of war, great battles shocking the heavens. This world will no longer be peaceful. Cao Yusheng said. One could imagine that when that time came, what order, what code of conduct would there be to speak of? Everything would be toppled, and the most cruel and chaotic world might arrive. This should be a battle that has continued from the immortal ancient great era. This great era will become even more bitter. I wonder if it will come to an end in this heaven and earth. The divine striking stone said. They had a feeling that the effects would be even more widespread, not limited to the 3,000 provinces. If there truly is a battle on that scale, there is no way the creatures of the 3,000 realms wouldn't become aware of it. Only, I wonder if we'll have the chance to participate in it. Cao Yusheng said, I am going. Shahao said. What else did your master say? Qingyi asked, the future is too cruel. There is a person who doesn't belong to the past or present that will arrive in this world's 3,000 provinces, and then ask someone who is good at eating for help. The little fatty said, I am someone who is good at eating. Could it be that this person will ask me for help? However, didn't you just say that I don't belong to this set of history? That's self-contradictory. Shahao said with thick skin, treating himself as that unmatched individual. Don't tell me that this was also what your master said. The little rabbit gave him a sidelong glance full of disdain. Is your master a divine being or a lunatic? Coming up with subjective ideas all day, isn't he just speaking all types of nonsense? The divine striking stone said, how did you know? My master has become crazier and crazier these past few years, even frightening me to the point where I don't even dare stay together with him. There was one time where he almost sold me off, saying how that was my fate and way home. The little fatty was incredibly depressed. When those people heard this, they were all stupefied. What kind of master was this? They began to doubt that old man's words more and more. It seemed like his mind really wasn't normal. The most annoying thing is that he keeps saying that even if he doesn't sell me, sooner or later, there'll be some person who is good at eating who will sell me. I'm never going back to him. Let that person act crazy by himself. The little fatty was incredibly angry. Those people were all speechless, offering a moment of silence for the little fatty's strain master. If he wasn't careful, he really would have been sold. That would be too unlucky. Then that means your conclusion really will be quite miserable. Why don't I help you out right now and sell you off? The little rabbit clearly had malicious intentions, staring with her large ruby-like eyes, giggling as she said this. This is where you're wrong. My master said that my luck is incredibly good. When I wake up, I would crawl out from underground, definitely not dying, reuniting one day. The little fatty spoke proudly. Towards this type of complete nonsense, the others all felt disinclined to say anything else. How much time did I use up in total from isolation cultivation? Shahao asked. He forgot everything while cultivating, not feeling the passing of time at all. Half a year. Qingyi told him the amount of time this short? I thought that at least 2 years had passed. Shahao was shocked. The amount of time that passed wasn't as long as he expected. The first time he cultivated in isolation, he used up 1.5 years. This time, he used up another year. It had already been 2 years since he entered Immortal Ancient. Now, he was 19, almost 20 years old. We have to think of a way to break through and improve as well. The little rabbit clenched her fists, giving herself motivation. However, she knew that taking that step was too difficult, something that was pretty much impossible for all heavenly talents. However, in this half-year, their harvests were great as well. They read all types of bone books Shahao acquired from Immortal Palace's inheritor, all of them containing insights from those before them. Their Dao paths were steadily advancing. What are you planning to do now? Qingyi asked Shahao. I want to cultivate a second strand of immortal energy. Shahao said. What kind of place was this? Shahao was extremely shocked. He already heard from Dragon Girl that 10 Crown King used a shrub to take that step, becoming unmatched under the sky. And now, he discovered that this type of thing was actually obtained from Immortal Ancient, coming precisely from that place. Even Ning Chuan's Dao seed was obtained from that place. It truly was strange. Let's go, we definitely have to take a look. I am looking forward to it. Before anyone else spoke up, the Divine Striking Stone was the first one who couldn't sit still. I'm hungry, want to go eat some stuff first. Shahao rubbed his stomach. The others immediately rolled their eyes. When one reached his cultivation realm, just ingesting multicolored light and energy was enough. A single breath of natural heaven and earth essence was enough to replenish all of his needs. Hunger my ass, don't tell me you really are the foodie that crazy old man is talking about, the little rabbit said while widening her eyes. The others all had strange expressions as well, feeling like this made sense. That is just what an old man whose mind has become abnormal says. You all even believe his words? He even wants to sell off his own disciple, definitely someone who has gone mad. Don't have to pay him any attention. Shahao said. Then he curled his lips and said, if I was that person, then I would naturally sweep through all 9 heavens and 10th earth, suppressing and killing all enemies. I wouldn't leave behind any trouble. What if you don't belong to this history, or if you have other reasons? The little fatty muttered. Fatty, you've been affected by your master, becoming crazy as well. What kind of nonsense are you spouting? Shahao said, it's not like I said the one that was being looked for was definitely you. Cao Yusheng said quietly, I'm so hungry. Shahao rubbed his stomach, rumbling with gululu sounds continuously. He was the first one to turn around and leave, not displaying the style of someone who had just taken that step at all. Cao Yusheng shook his head with all his strength. He felt like he had truly been tormented by that crazy master, affected by his nonsense. Otherwise, why would he immediately compare someone with that person? In the outside world, the cultivators of various sects felt that it had been too peaceful recently. In the last half-year, not many great things happened. A few parties that were paying close attention to Shahao, wanting to know his current situation, were left helpless because the 3,000 paths were hazy, preventing them from seeing how he was doing. Only, not too long ago, someone carved his name again, seeing that powerful fluctuation that was terrifying to the extreme. Then, nothing could be seen again. Don't tell me that he successfully took that step. A heavenly deity said softly. I'm so hungry. Shahao rubbed his stomach, rumbling with gululu sounds continuously. He was the first one to turn around and leave, not displaying the style of someone who had just taken that step at all. Cao Yusheng shook his head with all his strength. He felt like he had truly been tormented by that crazy master, affected by his nonsense. Otherwise, why would he immediately compare someone with that person? In the outside world, the cultivators of various sects felt that it had been too peaceful recently. In the last half-year, not many great things happened. A few parties that were paying close attention to Shahao, wanting to know his current situation, were left helpless because the 3,000 paths were hazy, preventing them from seeing how he was doing. Only, not too long ago, someone carved his name again, seeing that powerful fluctuation that was terrifying to the extreme. Then, nothing could be seen again. Don't tell me that he successfully took that step. A heavenly deity said softly. In reality, regardless of whether Shahao was cultivating in isolation or emerging, it was difficult for them to see anything. Once he reached that state, everything would be shrouded in secret, his secrets unable to be pried into. Only when Shahao completely brought the immortal energy into his flesh, not allowing it to emerge, retracting all of its aura, would they be able to see him again. Even though half a year had passed, Immortal Palace's people still gnashed their teeth in anger when they saw him, unable to restrain their anger. They truly wished that they could jump into Immortal Ancient and kill him, taking revenge and wiping out the grudge. Soon after, a few other inheritances couldn't remain calm, because that fella walked out of the 3,000 bluestone paths, arguing noisily when he emerged. It was just too hateful, ha ha. Phantom Drake Dowgate's people, Fire Cloud Caverns creatures, I have come. Where are you all? I'm so hungry. His attitude was frivolous, as if he was a devil king that emerged into the world, about to carry out a hunt to fill his stomach. One has to understand that the inheritances named by him intimidated the higher realms. Their disciples were all the elites of the higher realms, yet they were being treated like food. Of course, everyone knew that he wasn't joking. This was especially the case with Phantom Drake Dowgate's people, who felt even more anger. Their exceptional talent, a flood dragon, was the first creature to be eaten by Shahao in Immortal Ancient. When he entered a small world, Shahao continuously asked around for information about the whereabouts of the creatures from those inheritances. You need them for something? Someone asked suspiciously. Of course, I'm about to die from hunger, Shahao said. These people were immediately confused, not understanding why he would say that. However, there was still someone that pointed in a direction, telling him that demonic Sunflower Gardens creatures were in the ruins up ahead. Only when Shahao left them did those on the side discuss with small voices. That person seems a bit familiar. Could it be the rumored Huang? Heavens, he really might be. He looks just like the rumors. I recall giving his portrait a rough look before. A few people couldn't help but cry out. In the outside world, the cultivators of all sects were stupefied. They wanted to laugh, yet they felt that it wasn't too appropriate. In the end, their minds became heavy, because they also had disciples in Immortal Ancient. This Devil King was too domineering. Just now, he completely swept through everyone, defeating them all in an instant. Demonic Sunflower Garden's Lord's face was unpleasant. The demonic garden it established was a plant-type holy light, intimidating the world, yet this youth dared to do this. These sunflower seeds are sweet and fragrant, but they can't alleviate my hunger. I want to eat meat, peng wings, flood dragon kebabs. Shahao mumbled. He was now intentionally looking around, so how could he not discover some of his enemies' whereabouts? Soon after, he found some people from Fire Cloud Cavern. The Fire Cloud Cavern of the outside world was the ancient cave left behind by a true immortal. It was a place extremely suited to cultivation. The creatures that lived there were all extremely powerful. Shahao encountered a few people. None of them were originally human, some of them flame birds, blazing hounds, and there was even a golden flame lin beast. These creatures were all quite strong. When they saw Huang, they carried hatred, as well as fear. They immediately turned around to leave. Ha ha. This is too great. Otherwise, I would have died of hunger. This battle didn't hold any suspense at all. Soon after, smoke rose in spirals. Shahao propped up a cauldron to slow cook the divine hound and roast the flame lin beast. Soon after, the fragrance of meat assailed the nostrils. The meat was cooked until it was golden and shining. Shahao invited the others to eat with him. He ate heartily. In the outside world, Fire Cloud Cavern's people's noses almost went crooked from anger. This was more than they could bear. This sinner's blood descendant truly messed with their minds badly. Then, Shahao and the others went on their way, heading towards another ancient place. Burial Realm, Broken Sky Mountain. This little world was extremely mysterious. Normal people couldn't come in, and only a few people knew about this place in the past. Those that could come here were all the most powerful exceptional talents or ancient freaks. There's so many people. Cao Yusheng was shocked. It was different from how he had imagined. It is definitely because this is the final time Immortal Ancient is being opened. Many people don't want to keep the secret any longer, news leaking out, so more and more creatures are coming. Qingyi said, there are tribes? Shahao was shocked. Correct, you definitely have to be careful. Do not make the creatures from the tribes your enemy. Cao Yusheng warned. It was because those were the natives of Immortal Ancient. They were extremely mysterious and powerful. Generally speaking, they wouldn't leave their places of residence. Shahao was shocked. As soon as he approached this place, he felt a wave of immortal Tao energy, leaving his mind shaken. It was because he successfully took that step, cultivating a strand of immortal energy, making him quite sensitive to that type of energy. He could vaguely sense that his body's strand of energy received nourishment. What is going on? Shahao's mind was shaken. Just now, he clearly sensed many unique auras. There was one that seemed to belong to Willow deity. What kind of place was this? It left him greatly shocked. Around Qingyi's body was a green halo. It was as if holy moonlight appeared, surrounding her within. Soft green essence shone, mists rising around her, so strange, I can feel its grief and joy. Qingyi felt as if she was in a dream. She reached out her delicate hands to touch the green-colored radiance, and then she looked towards this great earth, golden radish, purple jade cabbage. I seem to have seen many ancient medicines. They all look so delicious. The little rabbit seemed to be dreaming, her large red eyes half closed, as if she was experiencing incomparable enjoyment. World stone, origin stone, 10,000 methods stone. Heavens, I seem to have seen them all. The divine striking stone cried out strangely, as if it became possessed. It continuously moved back and forth. Burial realm was extremely large, many times larger than small worlds. Mountains stretched majestically as far as the eye could see. The plant life looked sinister, a hint of blood-colored patterns within the green color, shining brightly. There were many rumors that originated from this realm. What was most commonly known by everyone was that a battle had previously happened here in the last great era, fighting until the heavens collapsed and earth split. Ghosts cried and deities howled. The blood of all types of experts scattered out. As a result, there were some regions in this small world where it was absolutely barren, containing world-shocking killing intent. Nothing grew here. Even if an expert came, they still couldn't stay here for a long time, running away soon after, or else they would be destroyed, the bone texts around their bodies completely blasted apart. That type of formless killing intent was extremely terrifying. Meanwhile, there were some places that were full of vitality, for example, the area right before them. The plant life here all had scarlet colors embedded in the green color, as if streak after streak of divine patterns were growing. It was because after some creature's blood and flesh landed on the great earth, it displayed powerful vitality, able to nurture all living things, not containing the frightening murderous energy. As a result, this small world became known as Burial Realm. The creatures were buried here, the battlefield that was now beneath the earth. There were too many secrets stored underground. Willow deity. Shahao clenched his fists tightly. Let's go. We should look around as well. There really is good stuff here, but it is hard to detect them. However, once you obtain something, it definitely won't be small natural luck. Cao Yusheng said. Shahao and the others were all shocked. What exactly was there here? However, after their prior experiences, they all had some vague ideas. This place was Burial Realm, a place with many exceptional items. Once one obtained one, it would definitely be unimaginable. Based on the rumors, in this era, Ning Chuan found a sealed arm bone here. It was still alive, surrounded by a type of divine liquid. The immortal Tao symbols were perfectly preserved. Cao Yusheng said. This made the others' expressions change. Immortal bones were incredibly rare and precious. Meanwhile, bones that contained complete immortal Tao patterns, that was something that could only be described as heaven-defying. Those people all felt worried for Shahao. The item 6 Crown King Ning Chuan obtained was too terrifying. If he truly completely merged with it once he released a slap, wouldn't that be an immortal method, nothing that special? Shahao didn't mind it too much, de-emphasizing the situation. Suddenly, a cry sounded from within the stone forest. Multicolored light surged from one place, shining extremely brilliantly, drawing many people's attention. They all rushed in that direction. Sure enough, someone obtained something good. Cao Yusheng said. The stone forest was quite vast, unable to see the other end with the naked eye. It was like red coral that carried luster. There were many people in this area as well. Ever since news of Burial Realm was leaked, it no longer became a secret. There were too many people who came to this realm. What is that? Shahao and the others also moved over to see what kind of divine object was found. Heavens, don't tell me that this is 7-colored immortal gold. The people here were all shocked when they saw what it was. It was the size of a palm, curling with mists, 7 types of radiance surging. It was exceptionally beautiful. This was a piece of metal, something that was extracted from rock material. In an instant, everyone's eyes became red. As for that lucky expert, his expression directly changed, fearing that he would be schemed against by others. The atmosphere of this place immediately became nervous. A great battle was on the verge of erupting. No, it's just 7-colored copper and not the unmatched immortal gold. Someone spoke, recognizing this material with a frown. What a pity. The crowd sighed. Seven-colored copper was also a divine material able to be forged into sect master-level weapons, but compared to immortal gold, it was too far off. One was an immortal Tao treasure, while the other was just an item from the world of mortals, a natural disparity of quality. Each time Immortal Ancient is opened, there will always be people who come to search this place. All the good stuff has pretty much been looted clean. Someone said with a sigh, "Let's go. This region is extremely large, so there's definitely some other place that we overlooked. We'll continue forward and look around." Cao Yusheng was unwilling to give up. After traveling 2,800 li, they arrived in a natural crater. There were many creatures surrounding this place, some who went down to search, some digging about in the surroundings, seriously looking about. The earth and stone here are dyed in a strange type of blood, able to block the exploration of divine senses. It truly is troublesome. Otherwise, the supreme treasures here would have long been excavated. Someone grumbled. How could there be so many experts around this crater? The little rabbit was curious, asking a few creatures who were comparatively nicer for information. It was rumored that Ning Chuan had previously found an arm bone in this crater, something that should belong to an immortal. Correct, this should be the place. Cao Yusheng also nodded. The little rabbit immediately cried out with AO sounds. She jumped out, making the mountain stone split apart and the great earth rumble. Part of the earth below her feet caved in, but that was all. The scene of heavens falling and earth splitting didn't appear. In addition, she grabbed her little feet while grimacing in pain, tears flowing outwards. "It hurts so much, be careful. There are 4 places that are extremely special, buried beneath the flesh of powerful creatures that ultimately merged with the earth and stone, becoming incomparably hard." Cao Yusheng said, "Why didn't you say that earlier?" The little rabbit was furious. Suddenly, Shahao revealed a look of shock. He stared into the very depths of the crater. His martial Tao heavenly eye condensed into patterns, peering through the great earth. He saw a shocking scene. "Don't tell me you really did discover something?" Qingyi was surprised. She had been standing next to Shahao this entire time, so she noticed his change in expression. "I really did see something, and it might very well be formidable. That area is too resplendent," Shahao said. His eyes became more and more deep, symbols becoming profound. "What exactly is there?" The little rabbit was curious, becoming extremely happy as well, huddling over. "Do you all think that something from Immortal Ancient can survive all the way until now?" Shahao asked. "There are definitely ancient freaks in Burial Realm. If we truly get something good, a battle will be unavoidable." Cao Yusheng said, "That thing is a bit strange, but I don't think it has life. You all should move back a bit." "I'm going to go take a look," Shahao said. The others nodded. They all understood Shahao's current strength. After cultivating a strand of immortal energy, it would be hard for him to encounter his match. He didn't fear the people below him. The only ones he had to worry about were Ning Chuan, 10 Crown King, and other unmatched creatures like this. If people like them came, there would definitely be an extremely terrifying battle. "You have to be careful," Qingyi said. Then, the little rabbit, Cao Yusheng, and herself separately looked into a different direction, observing the activity of the surrounding area. Shahao produced the everlasting immortal sword, and then he leapt towards the bottom of the pit. There were many individuals there, all of them searching about. This hole was extremely large and deep, just the area at the very bottom covering over 1,000 li. There were rocks piled everywhere, their surface a blood color. A wave of harsh energy pervaded the air. Shahao took action, hacking down with the powerful sword core. It immediately entered the ground. The natural crater was extremely large. Even though there were many creatures, it still wasn't crowded. No one paid much attention to Shahao, all of them respectively searching about. There were many dark caves underground as well, these caves almost completely excavated by everyone. After all, 6 Crown King did obtain an immortal arm bone from this place, so everyone was hopeful, searching around to maybe obtain the other parts. Shahao took a deep breath. When he reached deep enough where no one else was around him, he began to pour divine force into the sword core. In an instant, it erupted with brilliant radiance, becoming incomparably dazzling. Even though he was already deep underground, the people above this natural crater were still shocked. They saw brilliant light seeping out from the cracks on the ground. Heavens, don't tell me there is some immortal treasure that appeared, right? So brilliant. Is someone using a forbidden secret treasure, or has some type of immortal treasure appeared from underground? The group of people were startled, all of them extremely shocked. If they saw the scene underground, they would definitely be shocked, because it was several dozen times more brilliant than what they were seeing. It was simply impossible to look directly at. Shahao's head was below his feet, both hands holding the divine sword. He turned into an undying sun, the glorious sword radiance tearing through everything in its way, quickly heading towards the depths of the earth, arrived. Shahao's mind was shaken. He slowed down his speed, moving the sword core the entire time to arrive at his destination. The bluestone rocky layer was extremely thick, stopping the path down. Shahao knew that this was that stone treasury. Once he cut it open, he would see the resplendent creature below. The life force here is exuberant, with powerful life source energy. However, it should be dead, Shahao said to himself. He cleaned out all of the stone materials around him, crushing them to pieces. He swept through the other areas as well, revealing an ancient stone hall. It wasn't that large, but it was full of a unique style. This ancient place carried a type of sacred aura, a building that belonged to the last great era. Shahao sucked in a breath of cold air, greatly shocked. He saw an indistinct hand imprint on this stone palace. It was quite blurry, but still extremely terrifying. It was because at this time, the flame within him appeared, shining here, reflecting the unmatched great Tao contained within that hand imprint. In addition, right at this moment, Shahao vaguely saw a wondrous scene. A palm slapped down in the world beyond, accompanied by ascension light, slapping down on the earth's surface. The ground didn't move in the slightest. In the end, a hand imprint appeared on the stone palace. Then, the creature in the stone room roared angrily, fiercely resisting. An endless rain of light poured down on this place. Shahao's expression became heavy. This should be something that happened endless years ago. He carefully activated the everlasting immortal sword, cutting apart the stone room, revealing the true scene within, that is, an immortal body. Even though he had already seen it with his heavenly eye, he was still shocked. The stone hall was easily cut open. The materials used to set up the past restrictions had long decayed under the passage of time. Meanwhile, the Tao patterns and other things had been crushed by the hand imprint. Inside the stone room, brilliant light shone. The aura of life here was too rich. There was a humanoid creature there laying on the ground. Resplendent light wrapped around him, his body not moving at all. Suddenly, a miserable cry sounded. A group of creatures in the stone room were blasted into bloody paste, their bodies and spirits wiped out. There was another group of people who were still quite far away, yet they were still battered by the mysterious power. Their bodies split apart, miserable cries sounding as they fell. What happened? Someone wanted to bring away the immortal corpse, but in the end triggered an unmatched power. Great chaos erupted below, everyone panicking. Several hundred creatures rushed upwards, all of their expressions pale. They were comparatively more fortunate, not entering the stone room. Otherwise, they would have all turned into bloody pastes. That power was too great, not something an ordinary deity could withstand at all. One has to understand that this was just the ripple produced by a corpse, the power that was produced when it was violated. If it was still alive, what kind of power would it display then? Right now, Qing Yi, the little rabbit, and the others all saw that immortal body. It was laying in the stone room, surrounded by a sphere of viscous liquid. Endless multicolored light was released. It didn't have any flesh, only a set of snow-white bones. They were sparkling like jade, the viscous liquid like sweet dew, releasing a fragrance. All of its flesh has dissolved, only leaving behind a skeleton. There really aren't any symbols to be seen. The little fatty said, frowning over there. There is a faint hand imprint on its skeleton. Shahao said, pointing towards its chest. There was a faint imprint flickering about. Suddenly, everyone trembled. They seemed to have heard shouts of slaughter and saw a strange scene. A hand slapped down from beyond, immortal light shining endlessly as it swirled about it. It struck onto the ground, but no smoke or dust was produced. However, an expert in an underground stone hall released an angry roar, doing everything it could to resist. Inside the stone room, that creature fell on his back. Meanwhile in the sky, that hand was also cut apart by mysterious natural laws, falling down, smashing into the depths of the earth. Soon after, that strand of immortal energy became a bit thicker, now carrying more immortal characteristics. His own body was also being cleansed, the feeling extremely comfortable. If I cultivate here, it will definitely be an unimaginably great natural luck. Shahao was inwardly shaken. All of you can leave. Someone spoke up in front of the natural crater, his voice cold without the slightest human emotion. There were many creatures here, all of them exceptional talents from different clans. They were extremely powerful. They turned around at the same time. A young man walked over, in his hands a dark red halberd. His blade carried beads of blood, releasing a world-shocking wave of killing energy that made everyone here tremble. Who was this person? They were all horrified. At the bottom of the natural crater, there were over 1,000 experts, and there were even more further out. However, they were all shocked by this cold killing intent. The dark red halberd seemed to have slaughtered tens of millions of creatures. He is Heavenly Country's most powerful inheritor's younger brother, the sect's #2 assassin in the young generation, second only to his older brother. When this sentence was spoken, everyone sucked in a cold breath of air, their bodies going cold. They all felt extremely afraid. Heavenly Country was the higher realm's most terrifying organization. Once targeted by them, even if your magical force was heaven overflowing, there was still no way to stop their repeated assassinations. The most powerful inheritor of this generation in Heavenly Country, just based on his true strength, was comparable to Immortal Palace, fallen deity Ridge, and others' most powerful disciples, powerful to a ridiculous extent, possessing an unmatched attitude. Part 1 end here.